What's up, everyone watching? This is episode 201 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin, coming to you live from my bedroom. I'm giving you all the Week 11 picks around the NFL. Last week was a 7-7 record. It's 500, but you got to do better than 7-7. The record was 7-4, and then I lost the 3 straight. Just very humbling experience, very sad experience, and let's strive to do better this week. We're going to start with the Thursday night game, kicking off in about 4 or 5 hours from now, give or take. We got the Bengals taking on the Ravens. Finally, a good Thursday night matchup, the battle of 2 AFC North rivals. Both teams coming off a last-second field goal loss last week in games that they honestly should have won. The Ravens beat the Bengals 27-24 in week 2, which seems like forever ago. And that was when Cincinnati was still struggling to find themselves, find their identity. But however, Baltimore has been hot too. It's a different Baltimore team than they were in week 2. Who bounces back this week? I gotta say the Bengals, 26-22. They need this win more than the Ravens, in my opinion, because if they go 5-5, the playoffs are slowly slipping away from their grasp. And I won't be shocked if the Ravens won, though. I expect a Thursday night AFC North beatdown, though. Next is the Sunday games. The Steelers take on the Browns. Another AFC North matchup, except these two teams got a good win, got a grinded-out win last week, and they both are at 6-3. Pittsburgh beat Cleveland in week 2 in a very close and entertaining game. The Pittsburgh offense has been struggling, but their run game has been clicking, while Cleveland offense, Deshaun Watson, their starting quarterback, is out for the season with a shoulder injury that's been nagging him all year. I don't know if P.J. Walker or if the rookie Dorian Thompson-Robinson is going to be starting, but the run game has to be on point, and they have been on point all season. They need to lean on it more on Sunday. And I think both defenses are some of the best defenses in the league. I will say the Browns is a bit better, but in the last meeting, it was the Pittsburgh defense that caused 4 turnovers and 2 touchdowns, which changed the outcome of the game. It boils down to what quarterback is going to make no mistakes. Pittsburgh owns Cleveland, but I got to go with Cleveland winning this one in a close contest, 20-14. The next game is the Raiders taking on the Dolphins. So ever since the Raiders fired their former head coach Josh McDaniels and benched the former starter quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, a new flame is sparked inside of that Raiders team, as they are now 2-0 with the interim head coach Antonio Pierce and the rookie quarterback Aiden O'Connell. Sure, they beat 2 bad teams with no offense, as in the Giants and Jets, but wins are hard to come by in the NFL. The Raiders are back at 500, and the run game and defense is playing well, so can they keep it up? They have a tough task ahead of them. They're going on the road to face a Dolphins team coming off a bye with a lethal offense, and I think the Dolphins offense is going to torch the Raiders defense. The Raiders could win with a run game and no turnovers, but I think the magic for the Raiders is going to run out, and that the Dolphins, a well-rested Dolphins team, is going to get a 37-14 win. Next, the Bears take on the Lions. So 2 NFC North rivals, both fresh off a win. They meet for the first time this season. Both always play each other tough and usually split the series every season. But both teams are complete opposite. The Bears are awful while the Lions are spectacular. Speaking of the Bears, they're going to have 10 days rest. They played last Thursday against the Panthers, and I don't know if Justin Fields is going to be good to go or if the rookie Tyson Bagent gets another start, but it doesn't matter in my opinion because I don't see the Bears defense stopping that Lions run game. I got the Lions winning this one 36-20. Next, the Tennessee Titans take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. So AFC South rivals meet for the first time this season. Both teams got embarrassed last week, especially the Jags. And the Titans have been bad while the Jaguars have been the opposite of the Titans, although the Jaguars have had their very bad moments this season. The Titans' only path to victory, in my opinion, is to run the ball, and Henry has had big games in the past against the Jaguars, but this is a different Jaguars team, though, especially the defense. I think they're going to give that rookie quarterback, Will Levis, a whole lot of trouble, and I think Trevor Lawrence and the wide receiving core of the Jags are going to have a big game. First, a very weak Titans secondary, and Trevor Lawrence has just got to protect the ball, though, and I think the Jags will bounce back 28-9. The next game, the Los Angeles Chargers take on the Green Bay Packers. So 2 teams struggling this season. The Chargers still have hope for a playoff spot, though, and they need to win this game in order to keep that ball rolling. I think Herbert plays a clean game, though. I think Eckler's going to run the ball very well, and I think the wide receivers are going to put in work. For how bad the Chargers' defense has been, I think they're going to get the job done against Jordan Love. The Chargers should win, but they are notorious for losing games like this. And the Packers can win, but I don't know how. We all know that Jordan Love is bound for a pick or two in this game. I can see the Chargers with a 27-17 bounce-back victory at Lambeau Field. Next, the Cardinals take on the Texans. So the Cardinals snapped their 6-game losing streak last week with a last-second field goal win. They look totally different with Kyler Murray as the starting quarterback as he's returned and he's healthy. But they'll face a Texans team who is starting to hit their stride. The Texans got a huge last-second field goal win as well against the Bengals last Sunday. And the Bengals were red hot going into that game. And the Texans also were able to get the win on the road. And the Cardinals have a chance because, after all, the Texans did lose to the Carolina Panthers a few weeks ago. But that Texans team just a couple weeks ago is way different than the Texans team now. I think Stroud and the offense is going to go crazy. The defense is getting better as well. So I got to go with the Texans winning this one 30-20. Next, my Cowboys take on the Carolina Panthers. The Cowboys coming off of a blowout win. Playing great football right now. Dak and CD is arguably the best duo in football as we speak. The defense is doing its thing per usual, but you can't sleep, though. You can't get lazy. You can't get complacent and lose the game. The Panthers are coming off of a mini bye, so they'll be pretty rested since they played the Bears last Thursday. The Cowboys just got to keep their foot on the gas. No way they lose this game unless if they don't take Carolina seriously, but I got my Cowboys winning this one 40-16. The next game, the Giants take on the Commanders. Two NFC East teams meeting for the second time this season. The Giants won the first game a few weeks ago, 14-7. On paper, the Commanders should win. They have a better quarterback, better offense, and better defense. But as of lately, the Giants have had their number. I think the rookie Tommy DeVito gets his first NFL win, and the Giants win 17-14. And you know what? I also want the Giants to win as a Cowboys fan because it will mess up their draft spot, which would be pretty funny to see in my opinion. Next, the Bucs take on the 49ers. So both teams took care of business last week, except the 49ers beat a contender while the Buccaneers beat a sorry team in the Titans. I think the Niners build off their 31-point victory over the Jags last week. Chase Young on the defense is going to create problems for Baker and the Bucs O-line. Debo and Trent Williams back and healthy is going to be a problem, and I think the Niners blow out the Bucs 35-7. Next, the Jets take on the Bills. So AFC East rivals, they meet for the second time this season. The first meeting was in Week 1 when their starting quarterback Aaron Rodgers for the Jets tore his Achilles just 4 snaps into the game. The Jets wound up winning in overtime, and both teams are just down bad and need a win to save their season. Both offense are absolutely mediocre. The Jets defense is better than the Bills defense though. And Zach Wilson hasn't been great, but man, he ain't turning the ball over like our boy Josh Allen over there in Buffalo. The Jets defense has given Allen a bunch of fits lately. They've caused 4 turnovers off him in Week 1. And the Bills fired their offensive coordinator this week. So does that mean they're going to kickstart a new offense and they're going to look good? They're going to play with motivation? I don't know. It's very tough to call because it's going to be tough to do that against an elite Jets defense. It's a very tough game to pick. You know, both teams usually split 1-1 every year on the season. I'm not confident in this pick, but give me the Bills to win at home 15-10. The next game is the Seahawks take on the Rams. So 2 NFC West teams will face off for the second time this season. The Rams got the upset win in Week 1 at Seattle. And the Rams are coming off a bye. And Matt Stafford is most likely back from injury, so which is good news for wide receivers Cooper Kupp and the rookie Puka Nacua. And the Seahawks are a tough team, though. You know, if the Seahawks from this past Sunday show up, they win the game. If we get a Geno Smith with no turnovers, they get the run game going. And if their defense tightens up, it's going to result in a win. But Seattle can also not show up and get smoked, as we've seen this season. It's a tough game to pick a winner, but I don't see Seattle getting swept this season by the Rams. So I got to go the Seahawks over the Rams, 24-14. Next, the Vikings take on the Denver Broncos. So a red-hot Vikings team, 5-game win streak, travel into a high altitude of Denver to face a Denver team coming off back-to-back quality wins. Russell Wilson and the Denver offense is looking pretty good the past couple weeks, along with that defense as well. But man, oh man, it's Josh Dobbs and the Vikings. They're hotter than fish grease right now. I expect a good game, but I got to go with the scorching Minnesota team. They're going to win this one 28-21, and in Josh Dobbs we trust. The final game, the Monday game, the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. The 8-1 Eagles meet the 7-2 Chiefs. Last year's Super Bowl rematch. Both teams coming off a bye, ready to put on a show for Monday Night Football. Both teams are arguably the best teams in football right now. The Eagles offense, very good. The Kansas City offense struggles at times, but, has the ability to go off at a drop of a hat. The Philadelphia defense, lethal front seven, very lethal, but their secondary is absolutely awful. And Kansas City's defense, arguably a top 5 unit this season. So I expect a good game. It's going to come down to what team makes the fewer mistakes. I got to go with the Chiefs, though, because they got the better QB in Pat Mahomes. Plus, I think the Kansas City defense has the ability to slow down the Philadelphia offense. And also, I just hate the Eagles. There's no other way to put it. Something else too that I'll add is that Kansas City's got the better coach. Andy Reid is clearly a better coach than Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni's a doofus, while Andy Reid is not, and it showed in that Super Bowl too. That Reid was clearly better than Sirianni. And for the love of God, Chiefs are going to win this one 30-27. So that's it for my picks. Let me know what you guys think of my picks. Let me know what you agree with and disagree with. Give me some feedback. And don't forget, the bye week, 4 teams. Patriots, Colts, Saints, and Falcons. My lock of the week is going to be the Jaguars over the Titans. And my upset is the Vikings over the Broncos. So thank you all for tuning in. Remember, give me some feedback on my picks. Let me know what games you're looking forward to. Let me know what games you think are going to have you fall asleep, because it's not going to be that entertaining. And remember to subscribe to this exact YouTube channel. Follow me above on my Instagram page. Take care and enjoy some football kicking off very soon.